Hello students, let us continue lesson number 8 and the topic is non-religious literature. Literary text whose content is other than religious are called non-religious literature. They mostly includes poem, dramas, accolades, prasastio, grammar text and smritis. Smritis are Hindu law text. They include Manusmriti, Yajnavalkya Smriti and Narad Smriti. Kautilya's Arthashastra is also law text. A large number of plays and poems were written in ancient India. These includes great poets like Mahakavi Vyas, Kalidas, Sudrak, Bharvi, etc. Among such important epics, Abhigyan Sakuntalam, Raghuvansham, Meghdutam, Kirat Arjunam, Savna, Swapna Vasav Datta, and Marichak Katikam are included. In South India, a special literature called Sangam literature was composed. It was composed in first 3 centuries. About 1600 folk poets composed heroic poems in 3 sangams. Sangams means meetings in Madurai. In this literature, Shilpa Kadikaram, Manime Khale are very important. Best grammar text in Sanskrit is Panini's Ashtadhyayi, which was composed in the 5th century BC. Ashoka's inscription also inform us about administration during Mauryan Empire and ethical rules of Buddhist religion of ancient India. Citation, poetry and text developed greatly during Gupta age. Hari Sen was writer of Samudragupta's Prayag Prasasti. Veera Sen Sabha was the writer of Prasasti of Chandragupta II of Udaygiri Bana, as praised Harsh in Harshcharitam. Descriptions by foreign travelers. Many foreign tourists have been coming to India since centuries who have written their travelogue. These travelogues gives us information about Indian culture and life of people. Among such travelers, Greek ambassador Megasthenes, who lived in the court of Chandragupta Maurya, is very important. He has written an excellent book named Indica, from which we get information about the Mauryan age. Similarly, a book written by a Greek sailor Ptolemy about geography gives us information about ports of India. For instance, a Chinese traveler who came at the time of Chandragupta II and the Chinese traveler who came at the time of Emperor Harshvardhan has given a unique description of Indian social life, rulers and culture of that time. Next topic is traders new route. In ancient times, India was quite well developed in trade and commerce and trading of various commodities with foreign countries. India's prosperity was at its peak due to trade. Trading was done through land routes and sea route. Lothal was the major port of Harappan civilization. At Lothal, a carriage, dockyard, and warehouse have been found, which provide us information about sea transport. The people of Lothal used to make various potteries, utensils, and various kinds of jewelry. Trading was done of beads made from oysters and ivory. Indian species and condiments, Indian spices and condiments and precious stones were in great demand. Cotton silk and spices were exported to Europe via Central Asia through the international ports like Khambat, Bharuch, Sopara, and Tamralipati. Cotton textile, silk textile, spices, cinnamon, timber were exported to east and west part of the world, while gold and silver and other items were imported. Many people used to travel from China to the remote areas on foot and on horseback. They used to carry silk cloth with them. The route they traveled on was known as Silk Route. The merchant of mainly China, India, Iran, Arabistan, Greek, and Rome were associated with this trade route. Ports of South India were known centers for exporting black pepper and other spices. Next topic, painting in ancient India. Pictures are a special medium which expresses the emotion of human being. At the same time, it portrays the actual situation of that time in India. The oldest paintings have been found in the Neolithic era. More than 500 paintings of Neolithic age drawn by primitive man have been found in Madhya Pradesh from a place called Bhimbetka, which look lively even today. Other than these paintings of Ajanta Ellora, Bagh caves and Amravati, associated with Indian culture, have been found in large numbers. Paintings of Ajanta Ellora are world famous, which depicts Buddha's Jatak stories and Buddha's sadhana. World famous paintings Padmapani is the jewel of Indian culture, while Shiva Temple of Ellora Caves is a great sculpture carved out of a single massive rock. Next topic, sculptures and architecture of ancient India. Town planning seen in Harappan civilization is world renowned model of Indian architecture. Uniformity in town, baths, granaries, industrial unit and harvesting of rainwater etc. are the structure associated with Harappan civilization, which are the best example of engineering of ancient India. This architecture includes caves architecture, temple architectures and architecture of palaces. Cave architecture includes hills of Barabar, Nasik Hills, Ajanta Ellora and Amravati. In sculptures art of making idols was fully developed in India. Two arts style of idol are prevalent in ancient India. Gandhar art, which was a confluence of the Greek and Indian style. A number of artifacts have been found in Takshashila and Gandhar in Afghanistan in northwestern India. Buddha's statues were made in large number. Large statues of Buddha have been found in Bamiyan and Charosada in this style. Other style is completely Indian, which is known as Mathura art. In it also firstly Buddha statue were made. After that idols of Hindu deities were also made in this style. Specimens of sculptures have also been found from Amravati, Ajanta, Nasik, and Sarnath. Now, student, I will explain you the further topic in my next video. Thank you.